Buenos dias. Uh, a good black sun dawning to us today as this hasn't risen up just yet on the ancient Far East coast here in California. And I wanted to go ahead and jump in a little bit earlier and keep it black. Because right now we've been operating inside of the dark. When I say we, I usually say weave. Why? Because it starts with each one of us individually first, but we're all still one, meaning WON already. Okay, and that O is a slash through it because we have examined every darkness inkling that we can in order to go ahead and still present and do what it is that we do. So no one else can just slip into our darkness. And I want to bring us three short ones that uh, that come from different parts of us, around as we have been placed everywhere, and we're just up to for us to remember. And so, and been in whether it be different elements, animals, and situations to bring us here to where we are today. And the first one is actually going to be about, I've spoken them different times, but I haven't put them together, about uh, an Asiatic Iceland type of Eskimo man and his family and everything. That's uh, it's cold. It's cold outside, okay, and they're hungry. The second one is actually going to be coming from the outback, with the I don't like to say the word aboriginals because the AB puts a negative on it, like abscess. I don't necessarily like to say originals, either, but we're going to just say, the very first ones to arrive here, okay? Very first ones on this planet Kai, and melanated, deeply melanated, okay? Not to say that what we don't produce lighter, but deeply melanated, so to speak. And then the last one's actually going to come from Akabulan. Same thing as far as the melanation is concerned. And so we start right there with the Asiatic Eskimo, who's like in a Iceland when it's wintertime, as it is. Mixed, our poles have switched right now, and everybody's getting all kinds of crazy weather on the outside, which is only a reflection of the inside because we are of the earth. And so, with that right there, we some of us we can have food delivered and everything, and some of us have to go out inside of the cold and winter and so forth and everything, walk through the snow, and grab the food and so forth. And so what happens is the the man and his family and everything are hungry, and he has to go out and so forth and get to him. So he takes his I don't even like this either dream catcher because I don't think your dreams should be caught, but for the you know for the sake of the word, takes a large dream catcher and everything, and he's standing out there, and uh, but at the same time, you can look at this dream catcher as to maybe there's an entity, or that's because we're all floating through time and space at this time, and we don't necessarily know what we know what we need. And so, because we are not in any type of form or formless and everything, we'll go ahead and tap that dream catcher, and we'll catch that. It'll go through our ring. Okay, that the catcher itself is like a symbolization, can be a symbolization of our mind, okay, or our heart, our root, all of it at the same time, and we're that vibration of that ring is what is going to attract that entity and or spirits to come inside and fulfill those dreams that we're talking about. And so he has it blowing, and the wind is blowing, kind of fierce, and he sees all kinds of seals out there. And so he asks the seals. He puts a prayer out, and he says, it wasn't a thing of hunting. He asked them to go ahead, and we listen to the confirmation back here. You know, it's like a siren going out. Hear the horn in the background? It's a siren going out, and he's saying, "Hey, our family is hungry right now. Would one of you please supply yourself for us for food for our family and so forth?" And the sign goes out. It's a warn. The horn goes out. It's going out just like it is right now. And as he is sounding off and everything, all of the other seals fade out. They go out, and it's only one that's like they almost give him an usher, of seals as he comes back and beaches himself through them, just as an honor, eyes right military, or eyes right. We don't want to go to the left. No, pass the duchy to the left hand side. So eyes to the right in the military, as he's leaving his family and friends and everybody to come and beach himself to go ahead and be food for this family. And that he does. That he does. They have enough to go ahead and get through, for that time, space, in time in which they did. Wow, just like that ended. If you listen to how everything is working with us, the horn stopped, and their hunger was sufficed. Okay, so then sit with that, let that resonate. But we're still moving on right now, and we're going to go ahead and go now. We're going to go to the outback and everything, and in the outback we have a woman who has sent her husband to the store and everything, and she forgot to tell him to get some milk. Now the milk, we can go ahead and parallel that story also with Sisera inside of the Bible, to where he's actually against Israel. And so Barak and Deborah, Barak Obama, yeah, Barak was same Barak. Barak means thunder, by the way, inside of the Hebrew. And even though it also means blessing also, you know, and even though he came to Deborah, again, the feminine, we're starting with the feminine right there, which was the first judge, and also means be, and also is Devere is the name of the most holy of holies. So Devira or Deborah is the same thing, which means the bee, and the bee produces what? The pollen, pollinates everything, and at the same time gives us that sweet honey. Okay? So Sisera, he's I can't recall the actual war and everything, but it's a war happening right now, and I'm sorry, I can recall. It's a celestial war. It's totally celestial. If you read inside there, it's totally celestial. Okay. Dan doesn't come and help. Dan is the one with the ships and so forth and everything. This is Denmark. This is Denver. Dan, you know, uh, doesn't come and help. You know, uh, and so Dan is not written inside of the Revelation. Dan is not written inside of there, as I recall, because it didn't come and help. And but Sisera, I believe it's Jael who actually Sisera comes to him and he's tired, and so she sees, I think it's Eber, who might be the husband of her. I might have the wrong names mixed up and everything, but the story is where we're at. And so he comes in and he's looking for. He's tired from warring, and he goes ahead. She goes ahead and gives him some milk, and puts his head down on her lap and everything, and she drives confirmation right here. Drives a stake right through his temple and kills him. Okay. That's one story with milk. The other story, we're going back to the outback and everything right now. And again, and she forgets to tell her husband to get some milk. And the milk is significant because it comes from what? Again, the cow, which is feminine. All this is feminine. Okay. And what happens is she goes to the tree, like cousin, like T.I. was speaking about, uh, the trees don't hang out with the grass and so forth, you know. But at the same time, everything is rooted inside of that. So it doesn't necessarily matter, because what happens here in this story, you'll see, there's no separation. There's no separation. What happens is she goes to the tree and she puts her hand on the tree, and wherever he's at, you know, I don't believe the outback itself has no grass. It's all, even though it might be dusty, from what we might see right now, but it wasn't always like that. Like Death Valley wasn't always. It was green before. Okay, it was totally green. It's probably the biggest. It's probably called the Valley of the Shadow of Death now, because some things have happened. But this whole place is green. So even at this time, don't necessarily look at the places that are existing right now to go to be what they are or were then, because there's no separation with the green and the grass and so forth from the trees. And even it was the thing that's holding together is Mamachai, which is the earth, which is our skin and so forth. And so therefore that is rooted. Okay, so she goes to the tree, and what happens is she tells him, asks him to go ahead and bring back some milk. Well, whether he's walking in the grass, walking in the dirt, walking that telephone wire, that how they have the telephone poles, thunder comes from the ground, and lightning comes from the no, lightning comes from the ground, and thunder comes from the heavens. Okay, this is the beginning of summer or spring and so forth. The electrical storms and everything comes out, and just what's getting ready to happen right now with April showers and everything is the beginning of it. The Aries means levels and so forth. So the levels are going to of life, to shock life and break the ice off and everything of this winter right now that we're going through. Okay? And in some places, it's getting ready to happen. We're in the march of it right now. We're marching towards this point right now. And what happens is he brings the milk back. Okay? And the mission is complete. So those Asiatic individuals, hey, the dream catcher, the seals receive their meal. She receives the milk. She was making something she needed milk for. She receives the milk. Now we're going to Mama again in Akabulan. Next story. Next story in Akabulan, what happens is they have these different factions and so forth, just like they simply do today, just like wherever in Akabulan, Africa, America right now. Even for the thing of the inheritance, they want your freaking property. They want your land. They want everything from you that is yours. So her whole family, her husband, her son, her you know, there's four people inside of her family: her husband and two sons and herself. No, a son and a daughter and herself. And what happens is they come in, these, guerrilla, war hungry motherfuckers, you know, want your shit. They what was theirs, and they have plenty, but they just want your shit. So what they do is they come in to these different towns and everything, and they assign people, whether it be, down at SA, whether it be South America or South Africa, you know, it's most of the time they're not in their North Node. These are queens of the South and everything who cannot get to don't want to get in their North Node. They are weak vessels who do not want to fucking push up through the mud, get it out the fucking mud. As La Capitina Tanila spoke on the lotus flower in her beautiful dissertation and explanation of how things are to be looked at in different perspectives. Now, one can also say, hey, it's a different perspective. Say, hey, we came from the cosmos. It's different. People can. I've had that disposition myself at different times. It is different coming from the cosmos. The waters that come from the cosmos is different than the waters that came from the earth. Okay, and we didn't come from the mud. As far as for our soul, our spirit, we didn't. We actually came from the cosmos. But there are those that have come from the mud and so forth. But each are given that to go become sons of the Most High in the sun, even the lotus flower, which comes from the mud and so forth. Okay, so there's no differential, no biasness from the Most High and first of all, Big Mama, and the Most High. There's no bias. Okay, everyone has a chance to become a soul, meaning we are the soul. We shine bright, whether we come from the mud or whether we come from the cosmos. As the cos sin tan. Now, sin, we know who sin is like El. They know a lot of stuff and everything. They know how to go ahead and mix things together to create whatever it is from it be a humanoid to a bot to a clone. This is what was given, and this is part of this Earth school and everything also. A lot of them don't necessarily have a lot of feelings. Matter of fact, the Greys came here because they're in danger of losing their feelings and so forth and everything. This is why they came down here to go ahead and incorporate back into their people. A lot of planetaries are going through war and everything right now. So they have to go ahead. This is why the military section off different sections of land to where they can go ahead and live there. But it's still, those are some that are carnivorous and will break rules and regulations, which are galactic. And this is the reason why things are array here in this third dimension right here. And so even with that right there, this is what's happening inside of the story right now. And they're coming over here and they're taking more. And these are the negative, dirty Moors. Just like we have the doo-doo Browns that don't want to clean their ass and everything. They rather have your shit and might not even clean that. They just want your shit. So what happens is they come in, and of course, just like they have done for this land right here, they take every land, they take all the men away first. So they go ahead and take the husband. I'm going to even throw inside of there, rape him, because some people want to go ahead and rape the man. They might be from a different planetary, they might be from this planetary, and they want the male to, you know, to be broken, to somebody see it be broken, buck them. You know what I'm saying? The Ohio State Buckeyes, you know, Starbucks, you know, those who come from the sky and want to buck them. Those who come from the sea and want to buck them. Okay? So the men are always gathered up. Why? Because of the physical stamina and the strength and so forth that comes. And not only that, the yin and yang is the positivity. So we want to lock that up. We want to lock that up. So we can let the chaos and the feminine side of each. Now we're all androgynous. But the feminine side, they want that to run rampant. Okay? With no wisdom and understanding being balanced. No balance. They just want the chaos to run rampant. And so what they do is they go ahead and they kill the husband. And then they go ahead and kill the son. No, I'm sorry. Then they go ahead and kill and rape the daughter and kill her. Then they go ahead and kill the son, and they leave. They have to have something to eat. So who do they leave? They leave the wife, the mother, who just saw her husband get killed, who saw her children get killed, who she gave birth to, and everything. And they tell her to go now and make some food and everything. Okay, but only after they go ahead and rape her also. They go ahead and rape. And so she does what she does. She does what she does. This is what wisdom does. This is what women do. This is the feminine. This is why Cancer is the mother of all the zodiac. Okay? This is your consciousness. This is the consciousness. And on a general sense, like it says, Pisces is that of the subconscious, and then that of the ascension is going to be given that to Sagittarius. But remember, those are 12 months and everything. That's been altered. Okay, we're on a 10-month cycle, and things were added and taken away. You know, as even the circle, they say keep your circle tight. A circle is 360 degrees. It's 5 degrees off right now because of a rock that hit and made this 23-degree to where we're walking lopsided and everything, 23-degree angle on the earth and everything. And this is a star, a 5-pointed star. So you take that 23 and we go ahead and you add it back together. And what do you get? You have 5. So that 5 additional to that 360 makes it a wobble. And it's tilted. So that's the reason why we have one eye bigger than the other, one arm bigger than the other, one leg shorter than the other. We're walking sideways all the time. Okay? So it's not how we originally made it. We made it with a full circle, everybody shoulder to shoulder, 50 of us. This is noon. This is heir to the throne and the Ivrit. And this is what they're after. And they take that noon and flip it on the side and it become a Z. And they say, we're Dragon Ball Z. We still going to take it up. And so that's what they're doing. They drag, the male's balls, testicles, and still inside of this woman, and then order her to go ahead and make them some food and so forth. Fast forward, finally. And it's not a fast forward because all that right there has to be felt. because we are all masculine and feminine, androgynous right now. Still, nothing's changed. And what happens now? Everybody's going through some time. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. And time is on our side. Yes, it is. So all of that is playing right now. And time doesn't even exist as we know it. Yeah, and the next frame that we come upon is frame 17, something to remember. Like Mickey 17 right now, the different lifespans and so forth. This is what's happening right now. So the next scene inside of here, in this story with Akabulin with this woman here, is that time has gone by a little bit. And what we have now is the people have gone away. Everybody got a little bit older and so forth, and some of those mongrels then died. you know some of them got killed because they went to the other town and did the same thing. The other town did the same, basically with the scripture and everything. If you win a war, take the women, shave their head, and kill the men, and they become your slave. They become your woman. You can marry them. They've done that time and time again. That's a split tongue inside of that scripture there. Okay, that's giving an instruction for them to do, but we also have our instructions inside of there. And this is in every single book. You have to just take your time and read, especially the punctuation. And then when you even get to a semicolon, see the semicolon, that's for mediocre for one, semi. Okay, and the colon is really your ass, your anus. Think about it. Even the words in the grammar tells you what's going on. And that's how the scriptures are pasted, copy and pasted from each book to another. And people understand this with proper teaching, or you don't necessarily have to have it. All you have to do is pay attention and say, hey, use your critical thinking. That shit doesn't make right. That's negative. I'm going to put that over the negative part. That's different from what the way our innate. Now, if you're innately have a negative, you come out here with a negative and malefic, you know, uh, entity attached to you, or that's just your nature, then that's going to be natural for you to go to that. You have no soul, no sun, and so therefore you're going to beg, borrow, and steal from everybody else. And that's the yin and yang in all of us that we have to go ahead and look at, face, or be gobbled up, flame on, phoenix burnt up, and do it again. Okay. So what happens is that the same youngster, and when they did the raping, they also put the youngster in there to go ahead and do the raping first, because he has to go ahead and be put on the set. You know what I'm saying? Whether he bend over and take it, or whether he rapes. So therefore, now they got something on him. Okay, so the youngster actually had to go ahead and rape, this same woman and everything. But now he's grown up and he's injured, and he's coming in here and he doesn't remember her, but she remembers him. And so what does she do? You know what she did? She went and took care of his wound. Okay. And he couldn't go off with the other one. So he even had to get more even personal care to even stay there. And she dressed his wound and took care of him and took him into her bosom after he had went ahead and raped her earlier in life and forgot about it, because this is what motherfuckers be doing. So that's it right there. That's something to go ahead and think about. All three of those different scenarios came to be with First of all, the animal beats themselves for it to help us. Okay? As we saw many animals come and ask for help to come and help their children because they're stuck inside of this. You know what I'm saying? Those we going off of vibration. There's no words needed right there. There's no words. We have we're on a different plane. We're on a different playing field. We don't play games. We don't play James. We don't play alchemy games. No, but we do know and feel the alchemy inside of you because we are the same substance. And that is a sub, meaning, like we came from on high, whether it be the high of the cosmic or even that of the highest of inside of the deep waters and so forth. The creme de la creme, from even being boiled up from volcanic sulfur, the creme de la creme, the crust off the top. You know what I'm saying? All right. So these are just different aspects that one should plausibly look at every single juncture and point in time. And you have to be able to do it just like Capitina Tennille just went ahead and, I don't know if she had did this prior, you know, after just looking over, assessing something. But these are things that skills that we learn to go ahead and listen to utilize and put them together because this is what we signed up for. And every single one of us has signed up for these type of skills because we all came down to this school to go ahead and do what we're doing right now. We're just at different stages and so forth inside of this 3D world, inside of these avatars that we're in right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in, let it go on this right here, because I think we know we have. Everybody has a spine. Everybody has a spine. Every single one of us is a 33 degree. Now, whether we want to be a Mason, which is my son, or if we want to be free and do your own thing and everything, that's up to y'all and everything. You know what I'm saying? But Psalms 82, which is the reverse of 28, a man and woman, is already set. So the great gods will judge. So make sure your spine is correct. Make sure everything is right, and we'll be doing much better. Okay?